doing? The title is a little bit dramatic. My plants don't hate me. It's quite the opposite. Well, it's not the opposite. I don't hate my plants. But when I'm referring to troubles during the winter over processing, overwintering process, goodness, I need coffee. The issue is more trying to find the sweet spot of what certain plants really need. The plants I have always had the most trouble with overwintering are heliconias. Now, the most success I've ever had was when I kept them indoors. I cut them all the way back, and then I watered them very lightly. I can't do that anymore because I have cats, and you can't just have empty pots of dirt sitting around because, they'll turn it into a litter box. So I'm going to have to try some different methods this year. I'd have to say the next plant that has given me the most trouble are hibiscus. They always lose leaves when I bring them inside, and that's actually pretty normal for hibiscus. When you move them, they tend to drop leaves. That's all right, especially since I still have buds and they're blooming. There's new growth in there, right? There we go. Yeah, new growth. So while they are tricky, they're still not as bad as the heliconias are. This one, I don't know if this one's going to make it. This was planted in the ground. I threw it in a pot, so it's going through a transplant shock along with having to adjust to the new climate that it's in. The easiest of all the plants that overwinter are agaves. I just throw these over near the wall. It's kind of cold, but I maybe water these 2 or 3 times during the entire winter, and they do just fine. These, I'd say, do a lot better on the drier side. Alright, so here's another heliconia. This is the Hirsuta Costa Flores, and it's losing a lot of foliage. It's not super happy about being brought in here, but on some stems, it's doing okay. So this is one of the ones that I do better with overwintering. When they dry out completely, when they drop all their leaves, I'll cut them back, and they have a better fate. But talk about variability. Look at, this is the same plant. It's the Hirsuta Costa Flores, and it's looking much better than the other one. And there really is no... I haven't done anything different with these at all. But there is one considerable thing. This one was already in fairly heavy shade outside, whereas that one over there was getting a little bit more sun. Not a lot, but a little. So maybe they transitioned a little bit better. I don't know. This one also barely has any dirt in its pot. That could have something to do with it. I really don't know. I just have to observe all the variables as much as possible and then hopefully be able to draw some conclusions that will lead to progress. Something to note with heliconias is they don't like cold, wet feet. So with the other ones I just showed, I'm going to be putting down, I have some foil I cut up and then threw on the ground. I'm going to put that under them so that they're not in direct contact with the cold floor, because this is a garage. And even though I have heaters running, the floor still gets really cold. So I'm going to try and keep those from being in contact with the floor. This one right here, I have sitting inside the pot of my Insetti banana. And it looked better before I put it over here. So I'm going to give it a couple days more because it is starting to unfurl its leaves. It's not dry, so I don't want to keep watering and watering it. When temperatures are cold, you don't want to overwater your plants. And I can't keep things in this garage super warm. I average about 55 degrees in here. I've been watering the hell out of my Vandas because I had to go 3 days without watering them, which I hate to do. But it was like 10 degrees outside, so it was about 45, 50 in here. And when it's that cold, watering them just potentially will do more harm than good. And it's easier to rehydrate them than to fight bacterias and fungal infections and the things that will develop from cold water sitting in their little apexes and their crowns and whatnot. So that's also a similar thing with the heliconias. They don't like cold, so I'm not going to dote over them like I usually do. This year I'm just going to kind of take it easy and see how that works. Once the holidays have passed, I'm going to try and move this into my garden window. It's the only window that gets a reasonable amount of sun. And I have a coconut palm that's potted that's been doing well there for a few years. And if the coconut palm's doing okay, the heliconia should be fine because they both like hot, humid temperatures, which they're not going to get out here. It's humid, but it's cool and humid, which isn't great. That's not a good thing. So, yeah, those are just some thoughts on basically adjusting to my plants because they're not going to adjust to me. They won't adjust to you. You got to figure out their sweet spot. Yeah, so that's all. Happy gardening, everybody. What are you doing over there, huh? That's not your cage. Come here. Why are you being silly? Get back over there. Yeah. Be nice. Give everybody a kiss. Oh, that was nice.